Hi everybody, Joe Conkley in the shop. Today we're going to take a look at this J-185 project that I've been working on with the new side part. Since we last left you, I have, as you can see, sprayed finish on that new side and binding. You saw a little bit of that happening where I took some grain lines that were here on the original side and the new part of this, the new side, and connected those up, drew some in, drew some fake grain lines just to sort of pull that together, and sprayed the yellow-orange finish on there and buffed it all up. Now we are to the point where we're going to start creating some finish cracks on this new side part. As you can see, there are numerous finish cracks, all of various kinds, all over the instrument. Top, sides, back. And what I want to do is create some more on this new finish here. And I actually started right there a little bit. The main way we're going to accomplish this is by freezing the finish with this Ultra Duster industrial strength multi-purpose duster. Basically it's a compressed air thing that when you turn it upside down and spray it, it comes out super cold. You spray it on the finish, it can create these cracks. The finish cracks happen over time from the finish continuing to cure throughout its lifetime, where the solvents are leaching out very slowly. The fine finish cracks are just a matter of that happening as that finish continues to shrink and close in around the body of, or the instrument. Those it puts stress and on the finish itself super slowly, and they happen on their own. Another way that it can happen is if an instrument experiences a wide range of temperatures from cold to warm or hot quickly. The classic scenario is you come home from the gig, forget your instrument in the car. It's very cold out in the middle of January, and the next morning you get up, go to the car, and there it is sitting in there, and you say, oh man. You grab it, take it inside. You're concerned to see if the instrument has any problems. You pull it out of the case, and possibly right then and there, as you're exposing it from being really cold to quite warm inside the house, sometimes you can even watch the finish cracks happen right then and there. You can hear them happening. Many times it might take a little bit for those finish cracks to appear, but again, within a couple of days, you see the stress that finish has been put under by that rapid change from cold to hot. We need to give this guy a shake. I already did a little experiment with this process right here on this area, just to see what was happening. And as you can see, there are some of these finish cracks starting. And I'm going to continue that process just a little section at a time. I'm not sure what the upside down thing does to this, but I know that it is part of the process and makes it happen. So I'm going to spray this on there. You're going to see a sort of a white cloud, icy kind of look, and it happens pretty much instantaneously here. Presto, ice. I can hear it happening as that ice forms on the outside of the finish. It has that little tiny crackling noise, like ice being stepped on as you walk out the front door. Yep, so we got more happening right there. Another series happening right there. One thing I noticed about my first try at it right here in the front is these cracks were forming parallel to the side, you know, in this direction. The cracks are already here are 90 degrees to the top, and that little bit gave me some more of those. Another way to create those cracks is to actually cut them into the finish with an X-Acto knife, which I was doing back here on this little side patch, because there are particular cracks right here that I just wanted to continue onto that. So I'm going to use a combination of these things. First I'm going to create it with the cold here. When I'm looking at this, I see sort of a spot right here where nothing really happened there. I'm going to give that spot a blast here. Bingo, and go up above it too. I think the tendency and feeling is to want to just wipe that off because it just doesn't look good for things. It's very cold, but I'm going to let it sit for another minute or two here to see if I can get more of an effect in the spots that I want. If I don't hear anything at this point, I'm going to wipe that off. All right, we got some more happening there. Still, this little spot here in between those couple of tries is kind of blank. So I will even hit that again here, but I may have to create some cracks on there with the X-Acto. Hear it? Just like the cereal there, little snap, crackle, pop. The noise stopped. Let's see what we got. Some starting to happen there, but not a ton on that from that last maneuver there. And I hit that again, and it's not anything happening on that curve there. Interesting. Definitely more needs to happen up here. This is the transition area where, you know, there's the end of the new side, and right about here is where the finish that I put on the overlap from the finish I put on the side to the old finish kind of stops right there, and I think I got a lot happening right there where that finish is quite thin right near that transition. I'm definitely going to spray back in here on the old finish because some of the original cracking, or the cracking that was here when I got the instrument, because as we've noted, this is a refinished guitar, sort of was minimized because of the sanding and buffing I needed to do to get that. So let's give her yet another shot here. So I'm going to spray some up in here and again down in this area. Still nothing there in that transition area on the shoulder there. Can't seem to get anything going there. I got quite a bit happening right here. And that's where that overlap is. Definitely some right here in the waist there where the two pieces of wood come together. And more here. But not as much as I'd like. Let's try a little bit here along this spot on the back where that other piece of wood is transitioned. That seemed to be quite effective there. Yeah, we definitely got some more happening there. One of the things you'll see on the back here is that the cracks are kind of darker in some spot. I think I can recreate that look by, I have various powders, dyes and stains used for coloring finish that I can use to rub in there and get that same sort of worn, dirty look. I'm going to let this set for just a minute while I show you another part of the repair, and try to hit this area again here to see what more we can create. With the finish work mostly done here, I've moved on to some more of the structural work. This is the bridge, the original bridge that was sanded and cut down to allow the saddle and the action to come down because of the neck angle problems that we were experiencing. It has these Maltese cross inlays right on the wings here. So I removed both of the inlays, put them on the new bridge that I'm in the process of finishing up here. We're going to get a look like so. The main reason to replace the bridge is because it's just too thin structurally. If I reset the neck to the proper angle, and I would reset it to this thin bridge, it wouldn't be enough angle to really allow the instrument to stay structurally sound with proper geometry in the long run. And so many times when you have a cut down bridge, because the neck angle is compromised and the neck angle continues to move, when you do the neck reset, you got to replace both the bridge and do the neck reset so that you can, again, we're looking for original type geometry, which was a full-size bridge and a proper neck angle. So I'm working that down. This bridge needs to come down a little bit more height-wise. It's still a little chunky, and I have to define these wings better, just get this top shape going. But it's a reverse belly bridge. The belly is in the front as opposed to in the back. Just an idea that Gibson came up with at one point. There aren't too many reverse belly bridges, guitars being made with reverse belly bridges these days, unless they're sort of vintage historical reproductions. The idea of the belly, as opposed to a rectangular bridge with, say, a footprint like that, is that belly adds extra stability to that bridge joint, and also to the whole top, as the tendency for the top is to want to do this, sink into the sound hole and bow up behind the bridge. It just gives you extra stability, a little more gluing surface. This was also, the idea with this, where the belly in front of the bridge, it's maybe giving you some stability in this area between the sound hole and the bridge. But I think that Gibson and many other manufacturers found out that if you have that belly in the back, the belly in the front does not do a whole lot to reinforce the structure of the top or the stability of the top, but that extra gluing surface in the back does allow the bridge joint to last longer. Interesting historical development in the shape of the bridge, but vintage instrument, we want to recreate this original bridge. Working on that with a nice piece of Brazilian rosewood. And that is where we are at today on the Gibson J-185. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you. Questions, thoughts, send them our way. This has been Joe Conklin in the shop, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks.